Welcome back, everybody, to another video. I know it's weird. We've got multiple in the space of, a couple months. But, the brewing is a little slower these days. I have some other things on my mind. I got a new baby coming in a couple weeks. But that doesn't stop me. Now, I could be brewing with new cards, and indeed I did last time, but I always want to try and see if passed over archetypes deserve a little more love. And I think I have found a way to make it work. I haven't really seen anybody else playing Volcanic like this. It's probably around. There's no way I'm the first one to think of this. But I just don't know why people haven't been giving it a little more thought. Because this really does feel like a pretty consistent, interesting way of doing it. So today we are going to be talking about Superheavy Samurai Volcanic, because Dark World might be my favorite archetype and Dynamorphia might be my favorite engine, but Fire is my favorite attribute. And I haven't been able to play Fire decks in a long time. Fire King was okay, but then it was supplanted by Snake Eye and then got expensive. The first deck I played when I got into modern Yu-Gi-Oh! After a big hiatus was Salamangreat. And before that, the deck I was playing was old school Fire King when the first structure deck came out. So Fire is very near and dear to my heart. And so when they released new Volcanics, I was super excited, but it just didn't seem like it was doing much. MBT did a TMT about it, and that was all I saw. But then I was brewing a bit, and I came up with something I think is special. So without further ado, let's go through it, and I'll show you what we're working with here. So, first thing we're going to do is go through the Volcanics. We're going to start with 3 Volcanic Trooper. This guy's everything. He's the best. He's your best summon. He is your combo starter, and he is a combo starter. He can be a one-card he can't really be a one-card combo on his own. Mostly. He's one-card combo for a couple of things, but he doesn't really create that much value. But if you pair him with basically anything else, he turns into an awesome combo starter. And going on further down the line, he is part of a one-card combo. So we'll go through that in a bit. Next up, the easy one, 3 Volcanic Scattershot. There is no reason to run any fewer than this. It's Raigeki. We run Blaze Accelerator Reload, so you're going to be able to activate this. Getting Blaze Accelerator Reload into the graveyard is really easy in this deck with a couple of things. And with Volcanic Inferno, you can recycle these back. It'll take a couple of turns, but you can get multiple activations out of this. And again, it's just more stuff about burning. So, useful Volcanic Scattershot to have. Moving on to the next one. We have 3 Volcanic Rimfire, the newest Volcanic level 1. We are not playing any Volcanic Shell, because I think it's a trap. Based on my playing with it, it doesn't really do anything, and you don't really need the fodder. You don't really need the cards in hand for that. It just doesn't do anything. You can send it with Volcanic Blaze Accelerator and then get another one to your hand, but then what is that one doing? It can kind of be an extender, but with Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, special it from your hand, but you're not really looking to do that because part of your combo lines involve using that special summon for something else. So we don't play Shell. I don't think it's necessary, and it helps keep our card count down. 1 Volcanic Rocket. I know this isn't a Volcanic Rocket. It's because it is late to the mail, and I'm getting tired of not making this video. We only play 1 because it's not as great of a normal summon as Volcanic Trooper, because you can add Volcanic Blaze Accelerator with it, but then you don't do anything with it after that. So it is not a one-card combo on its own. We can search it endlessly with any number of different searches, so we don't need more than 1, and it's not a once per turn, so we don't really use multiple copies anyway. That being said, being able to find Volcanic Blaze Accelerator or Blaze Accelerator Reload is exactly what this is for, and it doesn't say it on this version, but the Oracle text is when this card is summoned, not normal summoned. I believe it's when, actually it might be the normal or special summoned, but it doesn't say once per turn, and it says you can add a Blaze Accelerator card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which means you can actually play in such a way that you can keep your single normal Blaze Accelerator in rotation, so you can keep activating more Blaze Accelerators over and over to use them for other purposes. Fantastic card. You go through this one multiple times in the course of many different combos, and so we love it. And 1 Emperor. I've seen people play 2. I don't think you really need 2. He's so easily searchable off of Rimfire. He's basically the only one you want to send with Rimfire, is send Emperor to grave. There is a danger of him getting banished, but we already have Volcanic Inferno to shuffle back Volcanics that have been banished, and he can't be Bestialed, so the only way he's going to be banished is like if you leave him on field and they White Binder him, which, that's not really going to happen. You use him as, you special summon him, but you don't leave him on field. He doesn't do anything on field, so the more idea is you use him to special summon, get the Volcanic Trap, and then link him off for something. For the spells and traps, we have 3 Bonfire. This should not require an explanation. They're Pyros. We want to search them. 3 Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, 1 normal Blaze Accelerator, 2 Blaze Accelerator Reload. This is our Blaze Accelerator package. You want 3 Volcanic Blaze Accelerator because having redundancy with Volcanic Trooper upgrades your plays so much. Trooper is part of 1-card combo, and it can do it enough on its own. If you somehow draw him in 4 non-engine, you're going to have some plays and some grind game. But if you have anything else, like if you have Trooper plus Bonfire, Trooper plus Rimfire, Trooper plus Blaze Accelerator, Trooper plus Rimfire, Trooper plus maybe plus Emperor, like that just gets your combos going even more. So we want a ton of redundancy, and Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, the special summon from hand, can be pretty good. It can be pretty useful to get more material on the field. And as I mentioned before, you can play in such a way that you can use Emperor to banish the Volcanic Blaze Accelerator and return the normal Blaze Accelerator to your hand, so you can use multiple of these. Only 2 Accelerator Reload because in general, we're looking to get 1 into the graveyard and 1 onto the field in 1 turn. We're not really looking to have multiple of these, and since we don't run Shell, we don't really have the super grind potential of Blaze Accelerator Reload, so we're only playing 2. For the Volcanic spell traps, we have 1 Inferno and 1 Emission. These are the only Volcanic continuous traps, or Volcanic traps that are fit to print. The other ones suck. They're not good. Emission is almost cuttable, but it is pretty useful. You can special summon. If you have it and you want to, you can special summon a Trooper to add a Volcanic from deck to hand. You can special summon a Rocket to add a Blaze Accelerator from deck to hand, and then return it to your hand to get more value out of it. It's pretty good. And Inferno is your main, just your main grind and combo and board for the Volcanics. I mean, it's a monster negate and burn, and then it can cycle your Volcanics back from banished or grave, so you can use scatter shots again, you can use rimfires again, you can recycle everything. So you end up getting pretty good grind game out of this. There are worlds where you actually end up with Blaze Accelerator itself on the field, and at that point you do want Volcanic Rimfires back in your deck and add them to your hand to just pop stuff. So it's pretty useful. A quick note, the Volcanics are super good at going second just by nature. I mean, if you go first, you can use Volcanic Blaze Accelerator on the token that Trooper makes, but you can just destroy stuff with Blaze Accelerator. Now, granted, if you're playing against Ryzeal, these become way less good, because obviously you want these to stay on the field and Detonator can just detonate them. But in the case of Blaze Accelerator Reload, you kind of want it in the graveyard. You do a lot of destruction over the course of your turn, so it's not like they'll just get they'll get like 1 or 2 activations off the Detonator and just kill you. You do have a lot of resiliency, so you shouldn't be super duper terrified of Detonator, even if you do have all of your continuous spells and traps. So that's it for the Volcanics. Next, for the other engine, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have 3 Wakaushi, 3 Bike, 1 Benkei, and 1 Soul Gaia booster. Level 4. We'll get to it in the extra deck, but spoiler alert. The point of this combo is for you to make Infernal Flame Banshee without using your normal summon, because then that gets you fodder on field. Infernal Flame Banshee likes being banished. I wonder if there's anything that we have that banishes Pyros. And overall, and if you start with all your super heavy samurai stuff, you can just use them to make a free level 8 synchro. Whichever one you want depends. I believe we're using Omega in this one to get a hand rip. You can make Draco Berserker so that you can get an extra, you can get an interruption. There's lots of good stuff you can make with this. You might be saying, now, wait a minute. hang on, we're sending spells and traps to the grave a ton as part of the Volcanics. True, but we're also banishing them, and ideally these are your combo starters. They're not great in the grind game, it's true, but they're so flexible and so strong going first and as your starters without, it's a bunch of material without committing to a normal summon, that it's still pretty darn useful. So, Wakaushi or Motorbike is our main one-card combo, and I'll show it to you in a bit, and then I'll show you the variation of if you have a bit of redundancy of the two-card combo. But the reason we're playing this is because it gives Volcanic a one-card combo without, and some extra stuff. So, really love the super heavy stuff. Very compact engine. Love it. And then for the non-engine, we're running 3 Ash, 3 Veiler. You need to be able to stop Duo Drive. You need to be able to stop some of the Malice stuff. And so we're doing this. We cannot run Imperm because if you're going second and you Imperm, it turns off your super heavies. So we're running Veiler instead. And then we've got 3 triple tack and 1 called by. Called by is just good because you are a little susceptible to hand traps if you don't have the correct backup or extension. And so called by is just useful for that. And triple tack for the same reason. If you're on a single good card and triple tack and they stop it, you can use triple tack to draw 2, and a good chunk of the time you'll draw into the extension you needed. Alternatively, if you've already got the extension, you can just rip their best card. So triple tack is just so good this format. You can steal a detonator. If they blow up your stuff, you can steal the detonator with it and then just go laugh all the way to the bank. Triple tack is fantastic this format. But that is the 40 card main deck, nice and slim. Let's move on to the extra. We have 1 Almirage because if you open Rimfire, you do need something to go into. We would play an Anima, but I don't own an Anima, and it's a little expensive, so we're off of it. IP and SP. You don't actually make IP that much. You can, and you can even sort of use it as a bit of a grind piece, but we're really just here, and if somehow we end up with 1 million material in some way, we can just make IP, and then that gives us a nice little SP play. SP is great, just easy, simple. So glad they reprinted it. 1 Sunlight Wolf, bit of grind. Firelink 2 is the more important part, and it's a proactive Firelink 2. We are running the Hita, so if they use Ash, you can use Hita as an extender, but it's more Sunlight Wolf allows us to do some grind that I'll show you in the combo. Unicorn, because we just want another thing that we can link into with a bunch of material to remove stuff, and we do have a lot of stuff in our hand that we want in the grave. Promethean Princess, this card's insane for this archetype. This is your main way to use Volcanic Rocket multiple times. In the course of the 1-card combo, you will summon Volcanic Rocket with Promethean Princess to add another Blaze Accelerator card. Sorry, it might be the 2-card combo. But you'll just get so much off of Promethean Princess, and then it is so much grind game. You're summoning so much fire monsters. You get plays. It keeps coming back. This card is insane for this archetype. I think most of the Volcanic hype came about before this card was really in the meta, and I just don't understand it. It almost revitalizes the archetype. 1 access code, because OTKing isn't particularly hard with our burn, but it's also pretty nice. You can't go into it with Promethean Princess, but you do have some extension and a lot of stuff on your field, so it's not too bad. And then for we are playing Zealantis. It is still useful. We don't have Salamangreat Raging Phoenix because I'm a little budget player and it's a little more expensive. That being said, you can absolutely replace the access code or the unicorn or something else in here for Salamangreat Raging Phoenix, and then you have access to the whole Princess into Raging Phoenix into Zealantis OTK board breaking potential. So definitely I still think this is good enough. It's just, it's not as good because if you make Zealantis, then, you can bounce some stuff, break the board. It's really good into Ryzeal because if you can get to a rank 4, you make Zealantis and then you bounce everything and set their detonator, and so that breaks all their stuff. Very good. And Ambler Whale, because Ambler Whale plus Promethean Princess is good. Incredible grind. You summon Ambler Whale, they summon a monster, you blow up the monster and the Ambler Whale. Ambler Whale brings back Sunlight Wolf as well, so you end up with Promethean Princess and Sunlight Wolf back on the field. If they don't kill Princess, you just bring back Ambler Whale. If they blow the things up, the Ambler Whale can blow up another thing. Just so much value, and it is just the perfect and most convenient, intuitive end board for this. Those are the links. Moving on to the Xyz, we're playing Infernal Flame Banshee because you can make it without a normal summon off of Wakaushi, and then that just gets you to Volcanics. Exciton, because it's just a useful board breaker if you don't have anything else. Baguska, because sometimes you just really want to lock down your opponent. It's honestly possible. It's a little difficult, but it is possible to use Baguska and still go into your Volcanic plays, given the right extension. You won't be able to get Emperor off, but it will protect you from Detonator if you need a good way of setting up. So that's quite good. 1 Zeus, because we do make Xyz monsters, and you can use Flame Banshee as Zeus in going second if you need to. And then 1 Omega, if you have everything you absolutely could ever want, you can just use Wakaushi to go into Omega, rip a card of their hand, and then you get the added benefit of Pendulum summoning with the Superheavy Samurais. So that is the extra deck. I'm not going to show you a side deck just because the side deck is pretty standard for all decks. Throw in some combination of Lancia, Evenly Matched, Dimensional Barrier, Book of Eclipse, and then a few other things. But a quick note is one option you can run in this deck is Volcanic Queen, because you can search it. It's a little difficult to run because it locks you out of normal summoning. Now, you can get around that if you have the Pendulum summoning from the Superheavy Samurais, but if you're doing that, you really do need a bunch of extension. And so it's a little hard to play, but this is an option you can put in your side deck, and it is pretty useful because it just eats a Detonator, which if it eats a Detonator, it gets rid of their pops, it gets rid of their double cross, and gets rid of their aggregator. Another thing you can run on the side is Ultimate Slayer with an aggregator of your own. That also just completely eats the Raziel end board because you use Ultimate Slayer, send aggregator negate double cross, and then you've removed double cross and you've removed the Detonator. So altogether, great stuff. Build your side deck how you need. It's highly customizable. So let me show you the 1-card combo. So we're just going to start with, in the interest of not sending a bunch of cardboard around, we're just going to start with 1 Wakaushi. So take your Wakaushi, you scale your Wakaushi, you use your Wakaushi effect to activate the Benkei, special summon the Wakaushi, Benkei effect to add Soul Gaia Booster, Soul Gaia Booster effect to equip to the Wakaushi, Wakaushi effect or booster effect to special summon. I'm sure you've seen something like this before. Oops. Accidentally knocked my camera. And then we will overlay for Banshee. Banshee effect. Detach. It doesn't really matter. I like to detach the booster because it feels cool, but whatever. Banshee effect to add Trooper. Oh, this does require you to have some random card in hand, but you start with 5 cards in hand, so it's fine. Normal Trooper. Trooper effect to search out Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. Activate Volcanic Blaze Accelerator by sending your normal Blaze Accelerator. Trooper effect to pitch this random card from hand to summon a token to your opponent's side of the field. And then you're going to target that token with Blaze Accelerator to send Volcanic Rimfire and to pop the token. Rimfire effect to banish itself. To send Emperor. Emperor effect to special summon itself by banishing your Blaze Accelerator. At this point, I would say you also probably could use your Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, but we don't have a rocket in rotation, so it might not be great. Emperor effect, we do have a banished one, so we will hit our opponent for 500 and set Volcanic Inferno. And then we will... actually, sorry, I messed this up. Before you do that, link these two off for Sunlight Wolf. And then summon your Emperor. That's Trooper, forgive me. Then summon your Emperor. Now you have a couple options here. Sunlight Wolf will trigger, and you can return the Trooper. But that means your Inferno will not be able to actually negate anything unless you banish the Emperor. So in the 1-card combo, you have to really think about it. How likely am I going to be able to use Inferno? Now, that being said, you can return the Emperor and the Rimfire, so I don't think it tends to be that dangerous. So I tend to chain 1, Sunlight Wolf to add back the Trooper to hand, Emperor to set the Inferno. Okay? Now, we're not done. We're going to link these two off. We're going to make Promethean Princess. We're going to go Princess effect. It doesn't matter what you bring back. You can just bring back the Sunlight Wolf and make Ambler Whale. Okay. That's your end board. Now, this is a deceptively strong end board. You have a monster negate, but you also have a pop. And then when you pop the Ambler Whale, you can bring back the wolf. And then if they pop something else, you can pop it with Ambler Whale. You get to return several of your Volcanics. And you get a lot of value here. So it's pretty good. But it could be better. So let me show you the 2 card. The 2 card is very similar to what we just did. Now, the 2 card is, assume you have Volcanic Trooper plus any other redundant piece. I'm just going to call it, we already have the Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, and this works without the Super Heavy. The 2-card combo is Super Heavy plus Trooper, or Trooper plus any sort of redundancy, be it Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, Trooper, Bonfire, whatever. So you're going to normal the Trooper, because we already have the Blaze Accelerator. We're actually going to add Volcanic Rocket. Then we're going to activate the Blaze Accelerator, send Blaze Accelerator. We're going to Volcanic Blaze Accelerator effect to special summon the Rocket. Rocket will add Blaze Accelerator Reload. And then we will discard that Blaze Accelerator Reload to summon a token for Trooper. Volcanic Blaze Accelerator effect, send Rimfire, blow up the token. Rimfire effect to banish. To send Emperor, and then we do a similar sort of thing. We link into Wolf. We use Emperor's effect, banishing. I would actually, depending on what you want and what's in your hand, I would actually banish this, because we're about to do something different, where Sunlight Wolf, add back the Trooper, link into Princess. Princess, bring back the Rocket. Rocket effect to bring back the normal Blaze Accelerator. So now you get another Volcanic Blaze Accelerator that is safe from your opponent blowing it up right now, because you can use your Volcanic Trooper to get it back. You can play the Blaze Accelerator if you end up with Volcanic Rimfire in hand, so you can get an extra destruction. It just adds a little more flexibility. So we add these 2 back to our hand, and then we link off into Ambler Whale. Oh, and I forgot to set, with our Emperor, we set a Volcanic Inferno. So we end up in hand, we end up with two cards back in hand. We already have that. We have the Monster Gate, we have the Ambler Whale, but we also just happen to have this Blaze Accelerator Reload lurking in our hand, lurking in our grave. So we can use that to send our Scatter Shots if on our opponent's turn. You can send all 3 Scatter Shots to blow up your opponent's field, burn them for 1,500, and then that gives you Inferno fodder. And then at the end of each of your opponent's turns, you can bring back Scatter Shots, and 2 turns you'll have it again. This deck has solid grind game. A couple options if you wanted to put in a bit more grind game is you can use Kashtira cards. You know, I'm pretty partial to Kashtira Fenrir these days. But you can really customize as you see fit. But the core of it, the grind of the Volcanic monsters and the burn of the Volcanic monsters, can actually kill your opponents pretty darn quickly. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really enjoy it. I honestly have so many brews that I want to play at locals that I don't know when I'm going to be able to get this one done, especially because I do have a baby coming in a few weeks. But give it a shot. This deck, you know, I don't think it's going to win a YCS, but I think this deck can definitely win you a locals, and that's really what this channel is for. So, try it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always happy to talk about it there, and I will see you guys in the next video.